Hey, I guess I don't really have a way to tell if I'm live. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm having to look at the screen at an angle so it doesn't show my face until I figure out how the fuck to do this. I'm on my phone right now, which is... Oh, there's an option to mute my microphone, but not to do anything else. Oh, one clown shoe. Hey, bro. I guess I can see that. That's useful. There's one viewer. How's it going, man? Oh, I guess I... Oh, how's the weather? Oh, it's just lovely. Nothing but blue skies over here. It's actually pretty scary levels of wind, which is why I started to... Oop, I don't know how much you could hear that, but that was probably Vince texting me. Or a notification that I'm going live. Uh, Damn it, I wish I had a way to tell which camera this was facing. I lived in South Florida for 30 plus years, yeah. Uh, oh, I guess I can just cover the camera, or you know what I could do? Where's the damn flashlight? Alright, let me see if it picks it up here. Or here. There we go. Okay, that's how I know which camera... That's how I know which camera it is. So, if I just tap that, should it switch to the other camera? Oh, it has. That's pretty neat. Okay. Scientist Sam, fuck you. Any particular reason this time? Or is that just a general statement? I don't know how much of the storm you can hear. Oh, you exist? Yeah, I do exist. As it turns out. Uh, I know it comes as a shock to some, but Pew does in fact exist. As a person in real life. That aside, you can dance better than G-Man. Ain't that the truth? Yeah. So I guess I really didn't offer any explanation as to why I'm having this. Maybe that's because there isn't an explanation to give. Uh, I feel your pain, man. It's been raining here all weekend. Yeah, one clown. That has definitely been the case here. It has... It rained basically all day today and most of yesterday. Jared says it's because you're lonely. You're not wrong. When the power's out and you have, you know, not a whole lot to do, you're not wrong there. Uh, I was planning on originally doing a hangout uh, before before the storm hit. I never really found an opportunity to do one. By the way, to I guess one clown, you've been watching the entire time. Uh, and I feel kind of awkward for having to ask this, but you didn't see my face, did you? At any point? I mean, it's not exactly a wide-angle lens, so I think I'm good. But let's see. Thank you, one clown, for confirming that. And let's see. You also said my friends in Key West say the place is trashed but fixable. Yeah. I actually, I've got a relative who lives in Boca Raton. He has a place in Key Largo. We convinced him not to stay there, thank fuck. But, Boca Raton, uh, I think is actually under a mandatory well, so-called mandatory, evacuation. You can choose to stay if you want, but no guarantee anyone's gonna come help your ass. Uh, but, yeah, all kinds of places are getting hit up pretty good. The people I'm really concerned about were some of the people on those outlying islands, because I actually know a couple of people who were, uh, I don't remember offhand which specific islands they were on, but we've only heard from some of them, and that's concerning. Jared says, I should be asleep right now, but damn YouTube. Well, I shouldn't be, because let me check what time it is. It's 1:20 a.m. for me here. The worst of the storm should hit my area in the 2 o'clock hour, so... Yeah, I'm basically gonna stay up for that, especially since, and there's not really an easy... Oh, you know what? Here, let me... Ah, damn flashlight. I'm trying to find it in the dark as I'm just laying in my bed here. Hold on. Pew's got to find his flashlight. There we go. That ought to do it. So, if you can see here, this is a window, and that's right where my head is when I'm sleeping. So that's one of the reasons I'm not going to sleep, as you might be able to gather. Jared says, 7 a.m. math class, and I gotta be up and out of bed at 5 to be out the door on time. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that pain. I don't have a class quite that early any day during the week. The earliest class I have is... what would that be? I guess that'd probably be oral communication, you know, so one of those graduation requirement classes. And that's at 9:30, so that's not crazy early. And then the other days I have statistics at 2. So, ooh. I hope that's not too loud when that happens. Oh, Steve's video is up. That's cool. Anyway, One Clown Shoe says, do you have alcohol? I do have alcohol, but I am under 21, and obviously I am a law-abiding citizen who would never consider imbibing before the appropriate legal age of 21. I have appeared in hangouts not under the influence of alcohol, but under the influence of Norco, which is fun, when, you know... I say that, it makes me sound like I'm taking it when I shouldn't. I actually, like, needed it when I was taking it. But how I performed in those hangouts is part of the reason why I probably shouldn't be drinking very often. So we're back down to one person watching, I see. Unless that's just not accurate. Thankfully I only have... This is Jared, by the way. I wish I could just save the chat. Jared says, thankfully I only have math and the speech at 8 tomorrow, Wednesday and Friday. I then have chem at 1 p.m. Yay, college life. Yeah. Yeah, fortunately, though, my college is actually going to be closed through Tuesday, meaning that I go back on Wednesday, probably to a bunch of half-baked plans about what to do, because we weren't expecting to be closed for that extra day. We were expecting to be closed Monday, obviously, but nobody was really expecting to be closed on Tuesday, but we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. One clown says, psh, when I was your age, I had cirrhosis. Damn, that sucks. Jared says, same here, Clown Shoe, my liver hates the Navy. Well, I do live in the South. It's easy enough to come by, although, interestingly enough, I know of more places where it would be easier for me to get weed than it would for me to get alcohol. And I guess that's not really surprising. Especially since, like, it's illegal to sell weed to anyone, so you don't give a fuck who you sell it to. But with alcohol, you can sell it to a certain group of people legally. So why would you risk it selling to someone underage, right? There are some who do it, but it's much more rare, I would say. And by the way, if anyone in the chat doesn't want me to read out their shit, just let me know. Because otherwise I'm going to read it so that it gets saved in the video, so it's not really... So I'm not just sitting here in the dark responding to comments that nobody can read or knows exist. So One Clown says, where I live, it's easier to get coke than weed. Jesus, I don't want to live where you live, I don't think. Or maybe I do. I don't know. I haven't tried either, but we'll see. Based on my personality, that would actually be an interesting question to ask. Based on my personality, which of the two drugs would you guess that I would prefer? I'm kind of interested. Jared says, I was in Pensacola, then Jacksonville for my first 3 years in the Navy. I spent far more days drunk or recovering than sober. Uh, Jared says, you on coke? Fuck no. And one clown says weed. So apparently the consensus is weed. Pew would be a weed guy, so not that you would know what I'm talking about at all, but Sam, maybe we should discuss that at some point. If I'm ever in Cali or if you're ever in Florida, probably not something that would happen for a while, but whatever. One clown says it's much safer than any other drug. I would basically have to agree. I mean, it depends on what you include in the set of drug, I guess. But it is by far the safest illegal drug, which it sucks that a thing holds that title of safe illegal drug. uh, Jared says that it is. It's even medicinal, lol. Oh yeah, recreational drugs, one clown says. Yeah, yep, you're right. I mean, alcohol can fuck you up decently badly. Oh, EO says, hey Pew, can't stay long, hope you're safe and dry. I'm dry for now, but I'm not gonna fish around for the flesh. Oh, here, you know what? It's easy enough to find, so I'm gonna turn it on again. But EO, as you can see, I'm right next to a window here, so yeah. I'm dry for now, but there's only a thin layer of glass between that and me, which is fun. But yeah, I appreciate it, man. We'll have to catch up soon. Maybe learn some stuff in preparation for calc. Uh, yeah, I added EO on Facebook not too long ago. He's a cool guy. He's a cool guy. Anyway, so Sewer Tapes says, "Is your power out?" The answer is yes. My power is out. That's why I keep fumbling for a flashlight. And honestly, that's ironically enough the only reason that I'm streaming is because the power is out. That's a weird sentence, but it is true. I would be editing a video on my main machine, which is just over there. Vincent says you'll be all right. I certainly hope so. Honestly, you're probably gonna get it worse than I am, man, based on what you were telling me when we were texting back and forth. Uh, yeah, and I saw Red's Rhetoric's Google Plus post. Uh, doesn't look like his area has been treated very kindly by this storm, but hey, he looks like he's probably gonna be okay for now. Jared says, "Hey Vincent, how you holding up?" Sewer Tape says, "Good luck, Pew." Well, thank you, Sewer Tapes. I appreciate that. Um, ooh, that was a thump. Boy. So, let me... how would I do this? I'm trying to figure out a way for me to show you guys something that isn't gonna show my face in the reflection. Let's see. Well, how do I do this? Hang on, guys. Pew's on the case. Oh, God. Let's see. Put a plastic bag over your head. Or put a bag over your head, not plastic, says one clown. Use your facepalm protection. It's on my desk. The facepalm protection is on my desk, but I do actually have a more elegant solution if I didn't just knock it off onto the floor. There we go. There we go. This is what real niggas use on the internet. Hang on. Worst is past here, actually. I'm worried about Red. Seminole got hit hard. Yeah, that's the county I'm in. It is not looking too nice here. But, let's see. Where did I put that flashlight? Fuck you, darkness. Hang on. Let's see. If Key West can survive, everyone is safe. You're not wrong. You're not wrong there, man. Let's see. Where the fuck? I keep losing this one flashlight. I am not a responsible person. Let's see. Earlier, Reds reported no flooding on his street, says Jared. Yep. No flooding on his street, but flooding plenty of other places is what I'd heard. So, oh, here we go. Now I can show things. So, I already showed you the one window, probably not lit very well, but here's the other window. And so, here's something you'll notice about it real quick. I don't know how much of that you can see. Let me put it on the other setting. There we go. That's boarded up pretty good. Fleshlight now? Damn it, Pew. Jared, this is why I like you. One clown says, lol, what a shithole. Pretty much all of Florida is a shithole right now, and for the next, I don't know, at least 6 hours. Like, there's not a very good, Sewer Tape says, lol, no zombies getting in tonight. I don't know, man. I do live in Florida, but I don't live in Miami, so we don't have much of a zombie issue to worry about. For those of you who don't get the reference, there was a guy who was really high on PCP and ate someone's face off in Miami a few years back. That was fun. It was good times. That's why Reds and I are in full agreement that Florida is the best state in the Union. So, yeah, one of the many reasons, you know. One of the many reasons. Let's see, Vincent says he's in... Oh, well, I probably shouldn't read that out. They're cut off till the FHP inspects the bridges and opens them back off. No PCP fucking... Not just PCP fucking bath salts, Jesus, you're right. You know more about my state than I do. Oh, we have 6 people watching. Hey guys, hey guys. Why did you choose to spend your time this way? Like, I don't have much of a choice, but you guys... I imagine most of you have a choice in what you're doing right now. And the fact that you would choose this is just beyond me. But hey, I don't even have my Pew doing the Carlton gif up. So I don't understand, like, what could you possibly be here for if that's not on the screen? Alright, back to bed I go, says Jared. Well, good night, man. It's great seeing you in the live chat. Curtis Newton did say that, Sewer Tape said, I just found out about you last week. I'm not ready to lose you yet. I don't know, I'm ready to lose me. As indicated by my last video where G-Man commits Pewicide. It's 7:30 a.m. here, says One Clown Shoe, and I just had coffee. Well, I wish it were light out. And I wouldn't have to keep stumbling for the goddamn flashlight every 5 minutes when I think of something I want to show you guys. Jared says, I'll check on y'all later. Stay safe. Thanks, Jared. Good luck in your classes, man. Oh, cool. I can scroll through the chat. That's useful. That's real useful, actually. Let me check what my battery's doing here. 59%. That's going down pretty quickly. That's going down real quickly. I probably shouldn't, maybe this was a bad plan. Well, you know what? I'm committed at this point. If I could have other people in the room, that'd be cool, but, I guess that's not really feasible. Cause I know that, like, from when I saw people like G-Man and Dragnot doing a stream like this from their phone, I assumed that was through Hangouts, so they could, so they could invite people they just usually didn't think to. But I guess, turns out, and this is just to give you an idea of how new I am to doing this sort of thing on Android, is I actually had to reinstall the Google Plus app tonight, just so I'd have something to do while the power was out. It turns out how you do it is you actually go to the YouTube app and you start a live broadcast from there. Which is not what I would have thought. I would have guessed that you start a hangout in Hangouts and then be like, and just tick the on-air thing, but I guess this isn't technically a hangout on air, so like there's no link or anything, this is just like a YouTube live thing. But in any case, that's, I'm tired. But, as tired as I am, I'm not going to be going to sleep until the worst of the storm passes, which will probably be, I don't know, 3:30. And then I'm up again at sunrise to go around my area on my bicycle with my dog, checking to see, what the damage is, what if there's any downed power lines, see if I can not go near them, basically. Yeah, I already, what I've already done is I strapped two satchels together, and I'm gonna be using them. I don't know what you call one of those things where like the dog is carrying shit for you, but I've makeshift made one of those for my dog. It's okay. She's a big dog with a lot of energy. That won't wear her down too much. She won't be over encumbered. One clown says, "My friend in Fort Lauderdale just checked in. Didn't even lose power. Lucky fucking bastard." Wow. That's, yeah, I got family in Fort Lauderdale who haven't messaged me to let me know how they're doing, but last I heard that they were going to be prepared pretty well, so that's good. They have three young children with them, so I really hope that that they're doing okay. One clown suggested, by the way, a name for that thing I described to put on a dog called a fanny pack. They're probably sleeping. I don't know. The kids have been pretty energetic and excited about this whole thing. I doubt you could sleep in that house. Vincent says you made saddlebags for your dog. That's not unheard of, man. And thank you. That is the name I was fishing for. That's not unheard of at all. They did it in the shitty reboot of Dawn of the Dead. They can do it anywhere. Damn, that movie kind of ended tragically, didn't it? It ended pretty damn badly. Then again, the whole movie was honestly, I shouldn't shit on it too much. I actually did kind of enjoy that movie, but not nearly as much as I enjoyed Romero's version. I guess I really haven't talked about it, but I am a decently big George Romero fan. For what I've seen of his, obviously. I haven't seen a whole lot. Basically, I saw his Living Dead trilogy. Well, it's not just a trilogy, strictly speaking. He did have involvement in the creation of some of the other movies, but I did watch the one that preceded those and its reboot. Oh, One Clown Shoe says Shaun of the Dead was awesome. You know what? I agree. Even though I'm gonna go ahead and say that Romero didn't have much to do with that one. Oh, by the way, One Clown, I noticed in your profile picture you've got red on you. Anyway, movie reference. So, yeah, the movie that kind of inspired, that really like laid the groundwork for Night of the Living Dead, by the way, which I really wanted to watch on my laptop, and you know what? I'll go ahead and admit what made me think of watching that movie on my laptop is hey Jade. Jade's in the chat. I had saddlebags for my dogs. When I went backpacking, they carried their own food. That's pretty clever. That's pretty awesome. I guess it's more common to like get a like dog-sized saddlebag rather than to just fashion something. But what's interesting, I'm actually gonna be probably having her carry, I don't know, probably bolt cutters, a hatchet, some water, basic first aid stuff. Yeah, maybe some towels or something. Yeah, there's quite a few elderly people who live in my area, so I want to make sure that. And basically, There's elderly people, and for the households that don't have any elderly people in them, they have children for the most part. There are quite a few exceptions, but that does seem to be the dominating trend in my area at least. Uh, yeah, I bought mine. They were designed for dogs, says Jade. Uh, yeah, I that'd actually be a cool thing. Man, I cannot even begin to describe how much my Amazon wish list has expanded since I started preparing for this storm. Like, all the crazy cool shit that I found out about just as it was too late to order anything to get in the mail. I was like, damn it, it would be so cool to have things. By the way, just so y'all know, and Vincent told me this, apparently you can take a 9-volt battery and a car charger and actually like charge your phone up with it. Now, I mean, I haven't corroborated that or anything, but I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that on the face of it, so. One clown says, I want to make saddlebags for my cats and... Oh, God. And fill them with catnip. Okay, one, your cat would never wear one, because cats have dignity, for the most part. Uh, and if you fill them with catnip, I don't know what the fuck would happen. Frankly, they would probably attack each other's saddlebags for it, rather than trying to get into their own. But that would just be my guess. Oh, Steve says Pew is still alive, so does that mean I don't get his shit? Dude, you already took enough in the divorce as it is, man. I don't know what to tell you. One cloud says, holy shit, it's Steve. You know what, uh... Jade says, I assume in response to one clown's cat suggestion, you might find yourself bleeding profusely. Basically, I think you might find that it's difficult to even get it on them. Steve says, why do I just see a dark screen? Pew Broadcasting? Yeah, I'm on my phone right now, Steve. There's no power here, which is the main reason I'm just dicking around on my phone. And, AT&T has lifted all their data restrictions on people who have accounts in the area until the 17th. Basically, so that there isn't anyone who's sitting there like, oh, well, I would go look up additional weather information, but I don't want to go over my limit, so I'm not. That's basically the idea. So he's broadcasting him sitting in the dark, basically. Yeah. That's basically what this is, Steve. I'm sorry to disappoint you with such a sad reality. If you go back through the video, I don't know if the DVR is even enabled on this stream, but if you were to go back through the video, you would probably have a chance to see me dimly lighting up the 2 windows in my bedroom. Jesus, chat's going wild here. Oh, back to figuring out OBS with Linux later. Bye, Steve. Thanks for stopping by, man. And speaking of Linux, I went on the on some Linux forums the other day and was asking about how I could like set up partitioned. Basically, I wanted to have different partitions for different distros, so that I could kind of keep everything quarantined away from Windows, so I could just erase the partition and just reallocate the space back if I found that I wanted to start fresh or something. That's oh, apparently Steve dissed my face. Vincent says that Verizon did the same in regard to my AT&T comment. Presumably related to the cat suggestion, you need a spring to act as a jumper, but you can get one out of a... not to do with the... I thought you were talking about putting cats on springs for a second. You need a spring to act as a jumper, but you can get one out of a pen for the 9-volt car charger thing. Honestly, I mean, not everyone has this laying around, but I got allocator clips laying around. I could figure something out with that. And then one clown says for some reason he's embarrassed to show his face. Kinda. Not gonna lie, that's part of the reason. But you know, I don't fully want to get into that right now. So, Steve says, "Have you seen his face? You would be too." In reference to me sitting in the dark. Yeah, you guys are closer to reality than you think. But Steve has seen my face, by the way. Now, Steve seen it, and Jade. I don't know if Jade has or not. I don't think Jade has, but Jade might know my real name because I think I linked her in my paper at one point. Jade, did you ever get that? Did I ever send that to you? Because if I survive this storm and the power goes back on, I'll definitely send that to you. One clown, how on earth would you have? I have you on Facebook. Pretty sure you don't have me on Facebook. Like, what? I'm trying to think. I didn't show my face on my peer review Facebook that some of you know about. I showed a blurred out selfie, but I haven't. I honestly I think you're just trying to pull my leg there, but maybe not. And Jade says Reds won't show his face. Pew won't show his face. I didn't think they allowed ugly people in Florida. Have you ever been here, Jade? I mean, we do kind of have a meth problem. Like, I think that's all I need to say, right? Uh, oh, if you don't survive, I can send it to Jade. Lol. Well, I'd appreciate that, Vincent. I guess I did send it to you. Yeah, I need to keep better track of who I send it to. Like, I'm totally fine sending it to you. I keep forgetting, like, how far that has disseminated. Nope, haven't been to Florida. Math, yeah, got it. Says Jade. Man, this whole reading out the chat thing is annoying. Charlie Reed says no picture. That's intentional. Also, it's dark because the power's out, and if you'll listen closely, of course the wind dies down the second I say that, but if you listen, oh, yep, that's Irma outside, folks. Uh, Jade says, I'll make an altar with it, Vincent and Pew, black candles, dead frog, the whole works. Well, just make sure that dead frog was a white supremacist, though. That is my only requirement. Make sure that it's something that Hillary Clinton has personally disavowed, and then we'll be good. That's the only way to summon Pew, by the way. You must invoke Pepe. One clown says, I. Okay, so it just got real loud there. So maybe you heard it that time, one clown. I have headphones on and I can't hear it. Then again, there is traffic and construction going on outside my house. I hate the city. Charlie Reed says, okay. Jade says, got it. Freddy has volunteered to catch the frog. Well, I see here the joke I was about to make was related to Alex Jones and turning the frogs gay, but y'all don't have water in California, so I can't make that joke. Oh, Jade, you heard that? Damn, yeah, it's that's not by any means the worst we've had. And I was gonna originally set up my Yeti, my Blue Yeti in the garage and have it recording ambient sounds, but I couldn't get people to agree kind of to leave that part of the house alone. So like that y'all didn't like overhear chatter and stuff and people saying each other's names and other things. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to go without that footage, I'm afraid. But I mean, yeah, and originally I'd planned to do a bunch of shit like set up a GoPro outside. It's just like there was too much work to do to prepare for the storm that I really couldn't have allocated very much time at all to that. And plus, I I don't know if I want my GoPro blown away. because it's funny, I bought a GoPro, but I never bought any mounts for it at all. So it's literally just the GoPro in its case, and then it's just the two. Am I back? I might be back. I might not, but that may have been the cell tower going out. Let me just check to make sure that the camera is still on the correct side. Yep, there it is. I'm back. How long was I out for? 'Cause, damn, I didn't even notice. I was like, whenever I start monologuing like that, I tend to look away from the screen. Like, that's generally how it is. It helped, you know, for some reason it helps me keep from distracting myself when I either close my eyes or just look away from the screen. Oh, Charlie Reed says a few seconds, not long, few seconds. Okay, well that's good. So it was basically like a Dragnaut tier interruption of broadcast. Oh, Calster, God fucking damn it! Everyone knows, but I guess it's just so instinctive with you because I see Cal and then I finish it. uh, Kelster says, "Hey Pew, what's up?" God damn it. I need to get better about that. Again, it's not like you hide it very well. You do hide your face though, which, that's for good reason. So, Kelster, you're the other person here who's seen my face. How would you rate me, by the way? I'm curious to see how horrifying of an answer you come up with. And while we're waiting on his slow Aussie internet, I... yeah, Calster has seen my face, and, by the way, fun fact, I'm the only person in the GDC to have seen Calster's face. He says, ugly fucking gremlin of a subhuman. That's a little bit more flattering than I was expecting, but I'll take it. I'll take that. So, oh, damn it, I can't ask how I compare to Reds because, Kelster, despite all his fanboy stalking, still doesn't know what Reds looks like. Jade says on a scale, from mole rats to Arabian house. Yeah. That's good. I might steal that. That's pretty good. So, Jade, you mentioned a mole rat. Speaking of mole rats, I've had to be listening to Rick Scott on TV a lot, which is always fun. I mean, it doesn't... I guess I won't really know till morning if he cocked this up or anything. Let's see. Jade says you may have it if you survive. Kelster says, your face is only gonna get worse when Irma fucks it sideways. Nice. Nice. Yeah, yeah, let me actually just peek out the window here real quick. Wait, why am I able to see anything? Because there's no chance that the moon's out. Oh, my neighbors have generators, lucky bastards. Oh, did Steve just go live? Let me check on that. Do. Totally just a test of low latency Linux kernel. Man, he keeps fucking with his stream. And then Vincent says, not a fan of Rick Scott, but I think he's handled this decent so far. Like I either said or should have said, I don't really have an opinion about this, about how he, handled this. Although I will point out one irony. This is the guy, Rick Scott, who got in some hot water a while back for basically shadow banning the term climate change from all government documents that came out of Florida. And it's funny, because people have been rightly making the connection between this superstorm and climate change. So it's funny seeing the person who is such a climate change denier that he banned the term's usage internally to his administrations, talking about emergency preparedness for the worst storm that this state has ever endured. There's a certain irony there. I'm just gonna go ahead and point that out. Damn it, Kelster retracted his message before I could read it out. But yeah, no, that was just a. And then Jade says 3 hurricanes right after one another. Yeah, climate change isn't happening. The West isn't on fire either. Yeah. Well, honestly, like I hesitate just personally before I say that some weather event is attributable to climate change, because we all know that weather happens, and sometimes extreme weather happens, and I don't think that this would be inconsistent with climate change not being a reality, but that's not to say that I don't think it is. There's so many lines of evidence that indicate that it is a thing and that it is anthropogenic. But I always pause before I, where I say, Jesus Christ, my phone screen is hot. Kelster says, and this is beautiful, Pew, the stream is almost as empty as your personality. Damn. I love it. Keep them coming. Vincent says, I brought that up when I streamed earlier. G-Man and Charlie says, G-Man told us we were in the last days. How long has he been saying that? How many days has he been saying that we're in the last of them? And Jade, I'm glad you commented. Let me grab a flashlight to check, because I fumbled my phone in my hands, and I want to make sure the camera's still facing the right way, in case the light suddenly comes on. They suddenly get the power back. Damn it, I keep losing this fucking flashlight. There it is. Okay. So, if you'll just bear with me for a moment as I do this. Oh, there it is. We're good. We're good, folks. You know what? I'm just gonna keep it on my chest here, so I don't lose it again. Jade says, it's not the events so much as the extremeness, if that's the word. We can't say that Harvey, Irma, etc. are due to climate change, but climate change has made them worse. The warmer water makes hurricanes bigger. That makes sense. That does make sense. One clown says, I still like the term global warming. Well, that's, as far as average global temperatures, isn't that right? But the fact that average temperatures are generally increasing due to human activity, that produces a bunch of different effects that are more accurately encompassed by the term climate change. But Kelster says, the screen is also almost as black as your heart. Damn, this is why I give you a spanner, Kelster. I'm sorry, Kelster. I forgot to say your real name. Callum Minecraft Mania. Follow him on YouTube, guys, because that's still his URL, if you check. Love you too, Callum. Jade says, I have 3 flashlights near me in my room. I have 3 flashlights near me in my room, and when I need one on, do you think I can find one of them? Probably not, if I had to guess. It's funny. Probably some of the people who have the best fact recall also have the worst organization in their real affairs, so they can come up with a piece of information to back up what they're saying, just like at the drop of a hat, but they couldn't find anything like physical to save their life. It's just a funny thing. And then Jade says, as far as average global temperatures are concerned, that is correct, but we also get blizzards from it, so that's why people prefer climate change. One clown says, I hope we get a blizzard here this year. Honestly, I probably would have preferred a blizzard to this, because the house is already heating up. We've been cranking the AC as much as it'll go and got it down to maybe 65. But just based on how it's feeling here, I wouldn't be surprised if I went and saw that it was up to 77, 78 again. And, yeah, we usually keep it at around 70, which eats up the power bill, but that's, hey, that's a luxury that we can afford, pretty much. So, I'm already starting to feel... Honestly, I've taken off my flannel, I think, since the stream started, or maybe just before it started. Let's see. My battery is at 38%. And then Jade says, I had to open my beer with my nail clippers because I couldn't find the 5 different devices that take bottle caps off. Well, you're resourceful. You know that much. So, how do we... Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and see if there's a way to find out who all liked this, because there are 10 people out there with very bad taste. Sorry, just gonna say it. Like, you haven't even gotten to look at any of my crazy weird photoshops or watch any gameplay. Oh shit, that reminds me. There is a video that I'm gonna unlist. Well, not unlist, gonna list. I guess there's an unlisted video on my channel I'm gonna make public, is what I'm trying to say. And it is the funniest shit that you have seen from General Han Solo in a while. We were off air. I don't even think it was in the off air portion of what was once an on air hangout. I think it was just like a hangout with some people in like some of the more reformed Christian groups that I somehow wormed my way into. But I'm playing Rust, and we turn it into Ancient Near Eastern Simulator 2016, and it's fucking hilarious. Anyway. Oh, someone says lol Kelster, so let me go ahead and look at what he did. One clown says, I just opened beers with a lighter. I hope you don't do it by heating the contents and causing it to expand such that the cap pops off, which is the cool way, but no one likes warm beer. So then, Kelster says, Pew, I have a joke. A vegan says that meat is gross. I replied back saying that vegetables are grosser. That is funny. Anyway. Lucifer Almighty says lighters work too. One clown says, we're just thumbing up because we know you're scared. It feels good to comfort people in distress. Oh, well, thank you. I guess you know what? That's honestly a pretty good explanation. Lucifer says, speaking of a beer, time for another. Yep. I do not have beer, but I do have something that is often paired with beer, which is peanuts, which I haven't been eating because I'm fat enough as it is. Ain't that right, Kelster? So, scrolling down through the comments, man, y'all comment in bursts. This is weird. Jade says, it's either thumb up this video or give you money, and you know we're not gonna do that. Fair enough. And, I definitely don't get enough views for AdSense to mean anything. I forget if my videos are even enabled for monetization. I think I might have tried at some point, but realized it was a pain in the ass and stopped. Charlotte E. says, gotta go, lunchtime on sunny Thailand. Stay safe, man. Yeah, I appreciate you dropping by. Yeah, thanks. When Clown says calories don't count during hurricanes. Yeah, well, tell that to my man boobs, my guy. I've been trying to kick those for a while. Yeah, which sucks because, like, my frame isn't the frame of a fat guy. Like, if I wear, like, because I'm decently tall, and, like, I'm not built very bulkily at all. So even though I am, maybe, like, 30 pounds overweight, like, over the center of where my BMI says I should be, like the median weight of that range. But, yeah, it presents itself basically as a noticeable gut, man tits. It kind of sucks. Which, it sucks the most when I have to take my shirt off for whatever reason, because I was getting absolutely drenched when I was working outside yesterday, just preparing for Irma, like boarding up the windows and stuff. But I did, end up having to take it off, and that gives me some incentive to keep losing that weight. I actually lost about 10 pounds on my trip to Tennessee, mostly because I was so active and I was having such a good time. But then, like, I don't know, for some reasons that I really probably shouldn't get into, just like personal life nonsense, kind of zaps my motivation, and that sucks. But hey, I gotta work through that myself, right? So scroll back through the chat. Man, my viewership got cut in half when I started talking about that. Jade says, I'm decently short. Kelster says, Pew, do you have any funny stories of naughty kids from elementary or high school? Yes, only some of which aren't about me. Let me actually, let me scroll down and chat a little bit more, and then I'll see if I can think of one that I can remember well enough to tell. One Cloud says he's not allowed within 100 feet of those schools. Kidding. Vincent says, your man boobs got nothing on mine. Fucking autocorrect. Yeah, I don't know. Yours are pretty glorious, man. See, I don't know whether to roll with the joke and compliment you on your man boobs, ironically, or like try to encourage you because of your weight loss thing. To be fair, I haven't really seen you lately, so I don't know if your man tits are as glorious as they were last time I saw you. How's that coming, by the way? If you don't mind saying in chat, because I was really happy for you when I heard you were working on that. Honestly, the first time I met you and Reds, I got really inspired to start working out and stuff. It's just I was lazy enough that I didn't ever act on it, which sucks. But yeah, like I really just need to build it into a routine, which is always kind of a struggle with me, like just making things routine and regular. But so Kelster asked for weird, awkward, growing up stories. Let me see if I can think of them, because some of them are more depressing than they are funny. And I would love to remember more details about the story that I'm thinking of, because there is one story in particular that comes to mind, just based on the way you worded it. And Vincent says, last time I stepped on a scale, I'd lost 30 pounds. Well, if I could manage that, then I would be set. So congratulations, dude. That's pretty good. Yeah, my condolences. I should weigh, personally, just me, I should weigh about 100 kilograms, which, it's funny, I remember that I should weigh, oh, well, is it actually that? No, it's actually a little less. I should weigh a little less than 100. I should weigh basically 200 pounds or less. And I'm currently about, I don't know, 230, 235. So I got some place to go. One clown says buy more scales. I don't know, if you put a foot on each one, would it distribute the weight, or would it count it both times so you'd weigh twice as much? The world may never know. Jade says, we'll send you a German dominatrix to get you in shape. You will exercise. Hey, you know what? Anything to get me laid. I'm kidding. So, God, I wish I could remember more about this story, because it was an amazing story when I remembered more of the details. That's a weird thing about me, is I never really remember very far back into my childhood. Like, I don't remember a whole lot of detail. And frankly, I think it's because so much bullshit happened to me that I just...
my subconscious decided, yeah, let's go ahead and quietly get rid of this. Let's not speak of this.
Like I don't remember. Like if you were to ask me a single thing that happened in sixth grade, for example, other than some stuff that I can infer based on what happened in later years, I honestly couldn't tell you. I could scarcely name a teacher from that time. And God, that was, let's see, so middle school's 3 years, high school's 4, it took me 5 because medical bullshit. So that's only like 8 years ago. I should be able to remember that. But for whatever reason, I can't. Um, but the story that I'm thinking of is the time where my friends at the time in middle school went to absolutely extraordinary lengths to try to get me to go to a dance with a girl. And it was funny as hell. Just, man, at the time I hated it, but looking back I'm like, those were some good friends. they knew what was best for me more than I did. But seriously, like they like a couple of them even like legit brought walkie-talkies to the dance so they could keep monitoring me to make sure I didn't just leave because they weren't gonna let me. Like they were seriously just trying to get me out of my shell, and honestly, like just trying to describe the story the way I have now makes me realize more than I really ever have how awesome that was of them for to try to do. But oh no, my viewership's dropping again. Quick, talk about dank memes or something. Talk about G-Man. Ah, fuck that dude. He's so stupid. Do you see his last video? God, man, when he that that time where he recently said that that in Philo 101 classes they actually make you, and I guess I started by ironically shitting on G-Man, but I'm transitioning. I'm feeling myself transition to actually talking shit a little bit. He actually thinks, apparently, that first-year philosophy students, as, like, their first assignment, have to write on a sheet of paper, God is dead, and then turn it in to the teacher. I almost said the name of the fucking movie. Apparently he thinks that God's Not Dead is, like, a documentary that talks about the real state of affairs in the United States. Lucifer says, dank, where? Man, that made your ears perk up, didn't it? It's funny. One of my relatives who I know smokes weed, and we've discussed it on occasion, and he's like in his 50s. I literally had to explain to him what dank meant the other day. He didn't know. Like, this guy has been a stoner for decades, but he didn't know what the word dank meant. Which is weird. Calster says, what pisses me off is when Christians say there are more atheists than Christians. I rarely hear them make that claim, honestly. And that's not to say that they don't make that claim frequently. But the reason, and this is captured beautifully. This phenomenon is captured beautifully by a Seitan Atheist song entitled "The Fastest Growing Religion," wherein Seitan Atheist basically points out the same hypocrisy of the numbers game, but with Islam instead of Christianity. If for those of you who haven't seen the video, it's basically a song where it's kind of like a call and response type setup where they go through all the different sects of Islam and all the different denominations, and they're like, oh, what about these? Are they Muslims? No, and here's why. What about these? Are they real Muslims? And then the ending bars are, so how many Muslims are there if we use your definition? Over 1.7 billion. It's the fastest growing religion. And like that's basically how they try to play both sides of the same coin when it comes to the numbers game. Like, you will hear on occasion a Christian say that there are many more atheists than there are Christians, or in the case of G-Man, you would think that there's more Satanists than anything else. I still don't understand where he gets that from. His obsession with Satanism is strange. Like when he's at least he's kind of transitioned to when he's actually talking about LaVeyan Satanists, he says LaVeyan. Except the problem is he whenever he talks about his like no his atheists not existing thing, he talks about LaVeyan Satanists, but it's funny, he says LaVeyan regardless of whether he's actually talking about LaVeyan Satanists, which is, I think that's just a mental tick of his at that point. Like, he kind of got trained, based on other arguments that he had with people, he got trained to say LaVeyan when he said Satanists. So that kind of just stuck and carried over. And he's got a couple of weird little isms like that. Some of which I think he gets from true empiricism. One of them that I can think of right off the top of my head is he can't say P.Z. Myers' name properly, and he can't say the Miller-Urey experiment. He always fucks both of those up. I don't know if I've ever heard him say or write either of those properly in any way that even resembles something that's correct. It's that show for me, and maybe I'm wrong about this, and I don't really want to come close to psychologizing him because I don't think that's fair, and I don't think I have the ability to do that. But what that indicates to me personally is that he doesn't put a whole lot of thought into what he says, and I know that's going to come as a shocker, and I imagine a lot of you are saying, well, no shit, he doesn't put a lot of thought into what he says, but I do tend to be more charitable to G-Man than a lot of other people are, and I think there's a couple of reasons for that, one of which is because I hang out with Hanazabi too much, and she's very optimistic about him much of the time, which I think is admirable. I think it goes too far on occasion because I do legitimately think that the cynics are right when it comes to G-Man, but damn. Anyway, I guess let me scroll through the chat a little bit more. One Clown Shoe says, before I came in here, I was watching Tau Ceti Alpha videos. I don't actually know who that is. If you could, maybe you've elaborated more. I haven't scrolled down in the chat for a few minutes, but yeah, if you could let me know who that is, I'd be interested, because I feel like I'm probably gonna either cringe or be like, ooh, sub. Vincent says, the dude can't remember my name. That's rude. Like, and I say that as someone who legitimately has a very hard time remembering people's names. Like it's bad. Like, as I've told some of you guys just in passing or in private, there's a girl I'm actually kind of interested in my oral communication class in college, and like I know that I'm so awful with remembering names that I literally, like, the professor was taking roll in that class and I just waited. And it's so depressing that I have to do this, but I just waited until, like, he said a name and she raised her hand, and then I just, like, wrote it down, like, 18 times in my margins, which is creepy as fuck, but hey, whatever works, right? Like, hey, you know what? Here's a word to the wise here. It's better to be creepy in private than it is to come across as creepy in public. At least in a situation like that, or at least that was the heuristic I used to make myself feel better. Jade says, tonight G-Man said he couldn't see a tetrapod with his eyes. Damn it, Jade. I'm trying to survive a storm. I didn't need to hear that. Now I don't want to survive the storm. What the fuck? Jade, if you could, and I can't check it now, but if you were to please just send a timestamp to me of when he said that, holy shit, that's on par with the Animal Kingdom nonsense he said a few years back. That's pretty, that's a little bit, come to think of it, that's actually basically identical to when he took offense to being called a biped. But that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. I don't think he put a lot of thought into that, and honestly, I think that he is mentally capable enough to understand what a tetrapod is. I just don't think he really thought about it. I think he was just like, here's a sciencey sounding word that somebody says proves evolution. Wrong! It must be fake. Fake news. Wrong. God, G-Man. He's a fascinating motherfucker. Like, I can't wrap my head around him at times. And that's why, if given the chance, a lot of people wouldn't, but if given the chance, I would totally meet G-Man and hang out with him. Because, like, I have no idea where to even begin when it comes to describing my opinion of him. It's just so strange to me. Like, Ronnie's simple enough. Liar and idiot who doesn't want to be acknowledged as either. That's basically Ronnie in a nutshell, but G-Man's I go back and forth on G-Man, like, quite a lot. So, anyway, I love how I launched into the subject of G-Man just as, like, quick, let me think of a cancerous GDC topic. And then I start actually talking about it. But, hey, you know what? Damn it. Everyone's just freaking out about what Jade said. Lucifer Almighty says I'm 40, and it was around when I was young. The term tetrapod, I assume. Vincent says, he got pissed off when Drag called him a biped. Yeah, I mentioned that. But you probably mentioned it long before I did. Jade says, don't forget the Catholics are not Christians unless evangelicals need... Damn, I need to scroll down in the chat because I talked about that a long time ago. EO says, I'm back. Nothing else exciting is going on. Welcome back, EO. Does he know that they found pyrimidines and the other P on Purines on comets? They've done many more experiments since then. The experiment was a triumph for its time. Agreed. It's like... They always think that, and this is why, I think this is one of the ways that you can tell that some of these creationists or ID people really don't have a lot of education, is because the Miller-Urey experiment is really only talked about extensively in, like, middle school biology textbooks. Like, it doesn't have a whole lot of relevance once you start getting, to higher level bio at all. And I mean, if there are any, bio majors, correct me in the chat. I'll be sure to read it in 20 minutes when I've scrolled down far enough. I'm kidding. I'm gonna try to speed this up, but I want to make sure that I acknowledge everyone who's in the chat because I really genuinely do appreciate your input and your being here and everything. But, yeah, like, the Miller-Urey experiment, it was very limited in its scope. It was really only ever intended to produce a few basic, amino acids. Was it amino acids? I think that was what it was. They didn't really even intend to synthesize anything more than that. And it succeeded. So, oh, geez, my battery is at 15%. I am gonna probably have to make a part 2 to this once I find a battery, but let me go ahead and get caught up with the comments at least before I do that. Tell her you're a cunning linguist? Oh, God. Hey, I haven't had much success with the ladies before, but maybe it's because I haven't used that line. You know what? I'm willing to entertain the possibility.
Kelster says, dude, you hang out with Hana too much. You hang out with me too much. That's basically true. Uh, anyway, she'll be right. Vegemite. Yeah, I haven't been spending nearly enough time with you, Kelster, because I say those things. Tao has videos of flat earthers doing their thing called full retard. That sounds. See, that's gonna be one of the two options that I told you. Either I'm gonna cringe my skin off, or I'm gonna say, ooh, sub. I'm gonna do the latter thing. Let me take a screenshot real quick of that so I know to go back to that. Boop. There we go. Screenshotted. Who's for Almighty says I suck at remembering names too. Damn, I need to scroll the fuck down. No way. Okay, I was scrolling down and I see a comment from Jade here. G-Man thinks that a tetrapod is a fish-like creature. He's been corrected on this, but the correction doesn't stick in his little Teflon brain. Oh my god. Tetrapods are fish-like creatures. You heard it here first, folks. What? Is he confusing tetrapod with Tiktaalik or Tiktaalik? Is he... Because... I mean... I'm going by the etymology. Tetrapod, so 4 foot. God damn it, G-Man. Anyway, how do you move on from that? I guess you just do. Don't walk outside over this, but Aaron Ra debated Edgar today. Yes, Vincent, I'm aware of that, and I've downloaded it to my laptop so I can, if this storm doesn't kill me, the razor blade I'll have beside me as I'm watching that will. So, that'll be fun. Oh, EOS confirmed the etymology of that word for me. Oh, and people are freaking out over Vincent telling him that Edgar debated Aaron. Scroll faster, Stormboy. Alright, fine. I'm just scrolling to the most recent thing. There we go. Oh, EO's still watching. I was afraid you might have gone. Ask him really nicely to pronounce it properly, One Clown Shoe. Oh, Kelster says, Pew, as soon as Irma has collapsed from fuckery overload, you need to contact me on Hangouts, you cuck. Yeah. I am bad about that. Yes, to anyone who's tried to contact me on Hangouts, I am sorry. Like, that is not a thing usually that I'm very responsive to. Then again, even to the very few people from this community who do have my actual phone number, you'll know that I'm actually pretty bad about that too. I just generally am not an easy person to reach. Mostly because half the time I see, my phone buzzed, that's annoying. Anyway, back to what I was doing. Like, I'm not even bullshitting, like, that's genuinely my reaction more than half the time. It's just like, oh, my phone's doing stuff, wish it wouldn't do that. I'm gonna keep fucking playing Rust or whatever I'm doing. But recently, and to those of you who have been messaging me on Hangouts, this will probably be useful to know, I disabled notifications from the Hangouts app on my phone mostly because of all the shit that was going on in the master Hangout invite list group. Just like, I was getting, like, there was a period of about 4 hours where between all of the different Hangout groups that I'm in, my phone was basically buzzing solidly. And I was like, you know what? This isn't sustainable. I'm not gonna be able to tell, what I actually need to pay attention to from what is just people having a conversation in a hangout that I don't really want to be involved in. I know you can leave them, but I feel like if I ever like manually leave a hangout, then for some reason they'll start talking about me and saying, "Hey, you want to come in?" And then I might actually. I don't know, but while I'm still figuring that out, the notifications for Hangouts on my phone are off. So, let's see. Oh, Jade says, I'm back, my modem crashed, I will find that timestamp for you. Thank you, I appreciate it. Um, yeah, that will be absolutely amazing. By the way, Jade, if your modem crashed, might that be the cause of the infamous Jade roboty, spotty, shitty TST internet? I think we might have just found the problem. Ooh, I'm just messing with things here on my bed, and I just opened up the thing of peanuts, and I'm like, damn, those smell good. Probably shouldn't have done that, because I don't really need to eat a whole lot. Something just popped up as a notification on my phone, but I have no idea of no way of knowing what it was. So, oh well. Yep, my battery's getting a bit lower, which is unfortunate, so I'm probably going to have to end this here. I wish I would have been able to make this into a hangout on air. That would have been a lot nicer. But, Curtis Newton, I haven't seen you in the live chat here, but you usually comment on my videos like the second they're posted, so, you mentioned to me recently that I really ought to stream more. In fact, I took a screenshot of it and I saved it to my desktop. He said, stream more, pussy, you won't. Well, I really would like to stream more. I've had fun every time I've done it, which now is a grand total of 2. I've streamed twice on this channel. Oh, you know what? No, actually, I think it's technically 3, but the first one I did was, like, not worth watching by anyone. So, battery is at 5%, so let's call that probably 5 minutes. I'm just gonna stay on air until my phone turns itself off. Ooh, one clown says it's a tornado warning. You very well, no, it didn't freak out like it had been. A tornado actually passed, like, within 5 miles of me earlier. It was crazy. Jade says, I'm about to fall asleep, no fault of yours. I was up watching most of the night watching the hurricane, so I'm going to take a nap now. Keep safe. Thank you, Jade. It really means a lot that you stopped by and that you're expressing that concern. I really do appreciate that. And Calster says, Pew, what's your favorite movie of all time? If I had to pick one... Oh, a low battery notification. Oh, one clown has his prediction, Showgirls. Then EO says Life of Brian. It probably won't come as a huge shock to most of y'all who are watching, but if I had to pick a single movie that is my favorite movie of all time, that would probably be the same as if you asked me what my favorite novel of all time was. And the answer to both is A Clockwork Orange. That film, and that maybe by me saying that, some of you will think that I'm an edgelord who just likes the violence and the sex and all of that. It is possibly one of the most insightful works of fiction that I've ever come across. I do actually think very, very highly of it. Kelster says edgelord. Just